Here is Heat 2B coming your way live in just a couple of seconds. Our headlines, a first heat won yesterday, but what about coming up here today? This veteran driver has won heats before. He's looking to upset the favorite today in the sausage boat. And J. Michael Kelly, he's young, he's fast, but can he win here on the lake? It's all in Heat 2B.
Heat 2B of the Chevy Cup at Seafair is brought to you by Comcast. If you're thinking of making the move to high def, think Comcast. And is presented for Seafair by Tide. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Here is the lineup for Heat 2B with the Formula Boat up front, formulaboats.com. Oh boy, Alberto, Haas Mortgage Investors, and the Miss Car Pros boat. And unlike Heat 2A, we've got all 5 boats out on the water with a little more than 2.5 minutes to go before we go racing. They'll be scoring up in just a second. We will take a look now at the drivers in this race, beginning with the U1, the formulaboats.com boat, and Jimmy Shane.
And this young rookie who qualified as a driver over in Tri-Cities only a week ago has not really had a chance to show what he's got here on Lake Washington. This will be his first opportunity.
Jeff Bernard, I believe he is an emerging great one. Is this the weekend that he actually breaks through?
And let's see if Bill Rocky has got a thought or two on that. The former Bud boat, the formulaboats.com.
That's right, Steve. I'm liking all these young drivers, and Jeff Bernard's one of them. I think he's getting better and better, like Chip said, and I really want to see how he's going to do here in Seattle, because he's really been coming on.
Mike, Steve David won last year's driver's title. Doesn't look like he's going to do it this year, but he's still got a fast boat.
You never know. He's got one victory on Lake Washington under his belt already, and that sausage sled, brand new and very, very fast. And this guy is a savvy veteran in hydroplane racing.
And Gard, nothing better that they'd like in the sausage camp than to win one for Art Alberto.
Well, it's so funny. I was just over there talking to a bunch of the crew members, Steve, and I said, are you guys doing anything different right now going into this heat from yesterday? They said, absolutely not. It is status quo. We love how we're running. All year they've been running well, especially in Tri-Cities, and they ain't going to do anything different. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That is what words to live by. David Bryant, another one of those young drivers, Chip, who you like.
He comes from flat bottoms, or what we think of as drag boats, so a hydroplane hull is all new to him, but he's doing great learning.
And Mike, finally, the U13, the Car Pros boat, J. Michael Kelly. He's another fast one, another up-and-comer.
I think J. Michael Kelly's one of the most skillful hydroplane drivers I've seen in 45 years. This kid is something else, and I think on Lake Washington today, he's going to start to show us what kind of promise he's got.
And we'll talk about the fastest qualifier as we're lining up, scoring up. About 43 seconds to go. Patrick.
Jack in the Box will congratulate Jeff Bernard, who Chip gives an A+ as a driver. He's driving a former Budweiser, the formulaboats.com. He qualified at 151.905 miles an hour for Heat 2B. And for the best in fast food anytime, stop by your nearest Jack in the Box.
And from Chopper 7, they're moving slowly as they get set to race, Michael.
Everybody just creeping through the turn as they're trying to set their lanes. And they are a bit early on the clock also as they start the throttle up, the power curve, if you will. Off the corner, though, Stephen David from the inside is going to have the lead. Formula Boats in the second lane. J. Michael Kelly, Car Pros in the third lane, and another Formula Boat on the outside. And here they come to the line. We've got a legal start in the formulaboats.com on the outside. Mr. Bertram is carrying them down into that first corner now, but he's got a lot of lanes between him and the buoy row as they come around that corner.
I think we're going to see two best friends hook up again. Jeff Bernard and J. Michael Kelly are in second and third, so I think this is going to be a close one all the way to the end.
Stephen David up the back chute with a lot of angry boats behind him on the way up, and here comes Mr. Bernard as he starts to pull alongside the Oh Boy Alberto. The Oh Boy Alberto, however, trying to maintain its slim lead in the inside lane. As they come around this corner on the north side, we got a wall of water up there, and there is the Formula Boats coming out of the corner right alongside Stephen David, and just to the outside of that, two more boats, including J. Michael Kelly. Oh, and he gets a little out of attitude as he comes out of that corner, but he settles down. Stephen David across the line first.
The Elam boat certainly might have everybody covered for first place, but after that, these boats are all very evenly matched, and I think this heat demonstrates that.
Whipping through the lower corner now, Stephen David starting to pull away just a little bit. There's a lot of racing to come, and at some point, Chip, as you well know, the drivers behind the leader have got to decide, do I push or do I settle?
And a lot of that decision is made by how have I done earlier? Have I got points in the bank? And if I've got enough points in the bank and I'm comfortably in second, third, or even fourth, maybe I'll just let him go.
Well, in third place, David Bryan is thinking, I'm pushing, I'm not settling yet, because he's putting the pressure on Jeff Bernard right now as they come through that upper corner. Steve David seeing all that in his mirrors, however, behind himself as he comes down to take the white flag. One more lap to go for the old boy, Alberto, en route to a second victory on Lake Washington. But look at this race for second place. It's Jeff Bernard, and it's that young man, David Bryan, and by gosh, Pat O'Day, these guys are really lucking up.
These young men do drive hard, but Steve David's getting an absolutely beautiful ride out of the old boy Alberto. He's out in front by, well, about a rooster tail, about 10 boat lengths in front.
And now David Bryan has overtaken second place, and he's still pushing. He's going after Stephen David there with a half a lap left to go. Jeff Bernard has settled into third place in the FormulaBoats.com, and Steve David is looking back there saying, this guy's coming after me, and he's coming on the outside, and he has a whole lot of speed as he comes out of that corner. David Bryan is not going to give up. He's going to try to drag race him to the start-finish line, and this is going to be close. Stephen David, the old boy Alberto on the inside. David Bryan is going to...
Bryan wins it.
That is a photo finish, but it looks like that yellow boat may possibly have had the lead. It's very difficult to tell because they were just paint on paint across that line. Wasn't that beautiful?
I think the replay will show he got him by about a foot.
I'm looking down into David Bryan's pit, and you should have seen the people on that trailer. I thought the trailer was going to break when they jumped up so high. I tell you what he did is no small feat. He comes from what we call flat bottoms. Now, flat bottoms are an entirely different kind of hull than a hydroplane. They don't get air underneath them. So for a driver who has spent his whole career in flat bottoms to come here in a hydroplane and perform like that, that's something really exceptional. Let's take a look at that finish and see who really got it.
Look at this. This is about as close as it is possible. This is just horse race close. It looks as though, from our angle, that it possibly was the old boy Alberto, because we have a slight angle on here. Let's look at it on the reverse side of things. Oh, my goodness. You just don't get any closer than that. Look for the red buoy to go streaking by. There it is. And it looks like old boy Alberto may possibly have had maybe a couple of feet on David Bryan, perhaps.
I'll bet you a pepperoni stick that it's Alberto.
There they are. You just don't get any closer at the line than that.
No, I take that back.
That was a fabulous finish.
We've got a little contest going here.
Yeah,
I think it was the U-10.
Well, I'll bet you a old Beatles record, Pat, that it was.
Well, and you know, as we are talking about this, the officials are looking at the video as well because they can't tell specifically. They're probably going to look at our race video also. But again, unofficially, it looks like the U-10 sticking its nose across. But again, the angle that we're shooting down the line, it could be from the other side. It just very well could be the Alberto.
Mike, can you remember the last time that you couldn't tell who won a boat race here in Seattle?
I cannot remember. I mean, photo finishes like that are supposed to be on horse tracks.
Chip, Steve, I have no recollection of one being that close.
And you've seen a few races in your day, Patrick.
Has Pat been to one of these before?
I think he has been. Well, both those camps have reason to celebrate. And
you're looking from
fans,
inside the course here now. Look for the red and white stripe buoy. It'll go by very rapidly from left to right as you see it. Oh boy, Alberto seems to have the lead across. There goes, it's gone by. But you know what? You just don't know what the line angle was with respect to the camera shot to be absolutely certain. But I mean, we're talking about thousandths of a second here on the finish in any event.
And let's remember where he came from. He didn't come from a perfect start on the inside.
No.
He came from lane 3, and it took him all heat to get up there. So that boat's going really fast.
Yeah, he was going very fast, and that's got to got the folks in the orange camp down there thinking, where did he come from?
Chip, I'll take your Beatles record and raise you with a Led Zeppelin T-shirt. I think the U-10 did it.
Okay, I'm throwing in a pepperoni sausage and some pizza pepperoni as well.
All right, there must be something illegal about all this betting here on television. At any rate, as we look at the
Looks like
U10
number
being
10
pulled in.
was the winner. They're calling number 10 the winner.
That's our Clark Stahl up in Chopper 7, who says it looks like, and he believes now the officials are going to call the U10 boat, the Haas Mortgage boat with David Bryant, the winner by a whisker. Let's go down to the dock and Bill Rocky, and let's see who